It's been 6 months since I've done a video. Life has been pretty hectic. Haven't had a chance to do this stuff like I've wanted to, but yeah, just other priorities at the moment. And but it's nice to get back to it. I've been buying single issues. Haven't done that in a long time. It feels like I'm 16 again. I just couldn't help myself and pick up some of these books that were drawn by Irish artists, and they're indie books, I guess. I would class them as indie books. They're not like indie as in I buy it and they get most of the money, but they are indie from the sense of like original ideas. They own the copyrights to them, that type of stuff, which is really cool and I love. And I've had these books a while, Old Dog and Hell to Pay, and I got Godfell just the other day. This has just kind of jumped up on my radar, so I said I'd buy it just to kind of just out of interest. I do follow Ben Hennessy online, and I was never too sure what exactly, if he was a full-time comic artist or if he'd maybe done some animation, kind of jump between different kind of disciplines or something like. But I saw this book and it was with Vault Comics. I've never bought a book from them, but a lot of artists I follow would do work for them, and I was like, oh cool, like this looks like I don't know if it's a step up for Ben, but it looks like a good gig, and like some great exposure, like nice kind of merit or credit. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. It might come back to me. But this was the cover I picked when I bought it online. I bought this from Big Bang comic book shop, their online store, and got it the next day, which was really cool. Obviously signed because they had a sign in there recently, and just love the colours. I don't know who drew this. I don't think Ben drew this, and doesn't look like his style. But yeah, it's a nice cover. I think it was the colours that really jumped out at me. But anyway, look, I'll get into it. This is Godfell. It's a fantasy world, which I love. I love kind of original fantasy world stuff, and it's just cool to kind of jump into a world and see what it's all about. And it can be quite difficult sometimes, because fantasy worlds, you've got different names for everything, and you don't want to kind of hit the reader with too many weird names straight out gate, or you might kind of scare them off. But the book was written by Christopher Sebela, and then Ben Hennessy on art, Tríona Farrell on colours, who's also an Irish creator or Irish colourist. And the book is I guess it's got a really, really cool idea in it, which is essentially like a god. I'm not sure if there's only one god in this world or if there's multiple gods, and this is one god, one of those gods that fell down to earth. But you've got a nice series here of the god falling down, and it's kind of felt throughout the realm or the world. There's actually some interesting looking kind of underworld characters here, which weren't touched upon in this issue, but maybe they'll come to them eventually. And the god falls to earth, and essentially it's just lying there. You'll see later on in the book. I'll show you a really cool double page spread of that. But there's a lot of this kind of dialogue at the start. Like, I do love stories that kind of don't tell you too much and just kind of show you. And I think sometimes when you've got a writer artist team, you'll have more dialogue, and then sometimes if it's just a writer or just an artist who has done the writing, there's less dialogue. I know that's how I would do it anyway, but it's just an observation. But this is the main character here. Is it Zanzi? Yeah, Zanzi. And an interesting design, as in, I guess it's almost like she's a Brienne of Tarth. I don't know if anybody's ever watched Game of Thrones, but like, she's just this enormous woman, and so she probably has the height of Brienne, and the musculature, the athleticism of probably the Williams sisters. And you just see her here, like, just tearing everyone up, like, absolute, like, it's super violent, this comic, considering the kind of animated style, like. But yeah, she catches an owl spear through the forearm there. That looks painful. It's actually a nice facial expression there. But what I guess what I really like about Ben's work is he's got a grey handle on facial expressions like that. I think that's nearly his strongest point. He just really gets a lot of a range of emotions in their faces. I'll point a few as I go through, but yeah, like you're following this character Zanzi, and it mentions like back here, that she has a massive, what is it? Perhaps it was the protection her massive shadow cut into which several men could step. So like she's like, I don't know, like the fucking Hulk or something, just massive. And this is awesome here. Look at that shot. Just love that. Like I love the armor and the kind of color scheme, and the axe. It just got a great profile to it. Like really, just love that kind of silhouette. It's class. Like, and even is some really nice shots here. Look, these losers hanging at the back here while she just goes in and cleans house. Now I don't know. I guess I'm a bit more of a traditionalist. I don't know if there was many gigantic Hulk-sized women back in medieval times leading the charge in these wars. There's probably none, to be honest, but it's fantasy, I guess. Like, so you have to let it slide. And I don't know. I suspect she may have some extra power going on in there, or some kind of extra supernatural quality. I don't know. I'll point out why I think that. Like, nothing's actually given away in this issue, but maybe in further issues. So I don't know. I kind of suspected something there at one point, but even look, some really nice expressions. Look, fantastic. Love all that. Like, it's really cool. And like, it's a dense book. Like, not only is there a lot of dialogue, just there's no like, Ben doesn't. He kind of draws every panel. Like, he's drawn even like smaller panels. He's drawn all of the environments. Like a lot of artists would shy away, and I think in a fantasy story you really have to do that. Like, I love this type of stuff, where it's like showing all of her gear laid out on a table. Really nice. All the little kind of satchels, and it's really, really nice. Even just her chilling out in her kind of chill out gear. Sometimes when you see a character, I always remember as a kid when I was reading X-Men, and you'd see the X-Men in their their costumes, but then there might be an issue where they're just in their kind of regular clothes, I don't know, walking around amongst the regular folk, and it was always just kind of added to their character and made them kind of more real. So I kind of like that. There's a few scenes here where she's got all this armor off and she's just looking kind of real chill and just kind of wandering around. But the general idea is that the army that it's the I think it's called the Rule and the Dominion, and her army have kind of just they've won, and they think they're done. And this guy here, I think he's the son of the king or something, and said no, there's more to come, and we're gonna just have to fight once again. And she's just like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So this page here is probably my favorite. It's these really wide shots, and just as you go across here, she's galloping through the different environments, and I did appreciate the dialogue here where it kind of explains that it took the army so long to kind of win all these locations and move through and destroy their armies, that she was quite surprised at how quickly she just made her way back home towards her family. And I don't know, I thought that was really nice. It was kind of really sold the world and kind of added a bit more history to it or something like that. And then this is the scene that has me a bit curious. Like, she slits, I actually really like that shot there, I really like her face. She slits into the neck of her steed, her bull steed, let's call it the bull steed, and then it looks like she's drinking the blood out of his neck. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I'm missing something, but maybe that's going to add something else. I like this as well. That's a really cool shot. I love that castle, that kind of ruined castle there, and she's just looking back, really nice. And then here she trades for food. I think she gives away I can't remember, it's like a dagger that she grew up with or something. And but these are people that her army would have crushed. And this guy is just like, yeah, fuck you. He's just like spitting as she rides off. Like, thought that was great. And then this is actually a lovely shot here. Just look at the shock in her eyes, and that's beautifully drawn there. This steed, rearing up as this girl kind of jumps out of nowhere. But there's kind of this interaction between these, like kind of witty dialogue and stuff like that, and they kind of team up. And I don't know, like normally style wise, like this, it's kind of unusual with the really violent stuff, and then like this kind of animated style, like you could see it being an animation, like and like even the colors are incredible. But look at these faces, like look the eyelashes, really nice. And then how the hair is treated, it's kind of like the inner lines are kind of pulled back a bit or something. Even it's not pure black, like I don't know, I really like that, like. But yeah, I don't know if this is the type of story that I don't even know if it was written for me, because I do think depending on your age, you're into different types of stuff, and then if you're a man or a woman, you're into different types of stuff. Like, and reading this, it never felt like a story that was fully written for me. Like, I guess I'm just into I don't know exactly. Well, I'm into different stuff, like, but it didn't, as a story, there was certain aspects where I was like, I don't know if this is for me, like, but I did enjoy it all the same, and I enjoyed different parts of the world building as well. Like, look at this creature she's on. Like, it's not a ballsy choice. It's like a platypus with horns that people are riding around on. Like, so that type of stuff is really cool. Like, and just the design of Zanzi is great. I drew her. I done a pencil drawing of her over the weekend because I was just looking at this book a few times and it was kind of cool. Just in my head, I was like, I just want to try and draw her. Like, this is the shot, which I would curse any writer that asked me to draw this, because it's so hard to do shots high up, like these bird's eye view shots that are looking down on a landscape, and you have to draw, like, there's so much information you have to put in there. But essentially, it's such a wow factor shot, and it's like the most unique part of this fantasy world is this god that has fallen down from Earth, fallen to Earth from the heavens, and is dead, looks to be dead, and the people are like ants, like they're just building stuff. Look, there's people walking on them and everything. I'm guessing it's a man, or well, a being walking on the being, and it's just, this is the idea I really like, because they're going to go in here, like, through. It looks like the god has hooves or hoofs. I don't know how you say that exactly, but they actually travel in through here. That's where the book ends. They kind of go into that foot, and I think the story is them going through the body of a dead god, which is cool. Like, really great idea. I love that. You can see the colours here. There's like a haze, kind of like an evening haze. It's so well done. Like, it's lovely. But look, I won't kind of go into too much more. The only thing I'd say is like I think in the next issue they travel through, and there's like mention of parasites and stuff like that. Like, so should be interesting. I think I will pick up the next issue just out of curiosity. And sometimes I think when you do a video on a book, you might look through it a few more times, and you just get a little bit more invested in it. So yeah, look, to all my, I don't know, I think I've like 80 something viewers, to all my loyal viewers out there, if you're into comics, go and support Godfell. Check it out. It's a great book, and there's a lot of interesting stuff coming up ahead, I think. So yeah, look, thanks for listening if you actually got this far.